See you. Bye-bye. Bye.
I will start in English because I want and I need to express my gratitude to all the friends who are not Spanish speakers. It's great for me to be here in this place. Thank you, Javier, for opening the doors of this beautiful bookstore. To be honest, for me it's a special moment to be here, sharing with you the launch of my first novel. I see people from all around the world, friends from UNDP, friends from Argentina, my sister there, my mother the Queen, representing the crown, the royal family from Argentina. For me this is a celebration. This is going to be neither a lecture, nor a seminar, nor a TV program, nor a radio program, nor a panel interview for a UNDP position. But anyway, of course, I said, okay, I have to say something I have to say. So I started to think about, okay, which one could be my first question to a new writer? So I said the most evident, the most obvious question, I think, is why to write and why to write a novel. And trying to play with those questions and trying to find an answer for that, I said, okay, it's easier for me to answer the second question, why to write a novel. Maybe because a novel remains a system in which you can play to different levels. You can, link different stages, different places, different times. You can also do that in short stories. In fact, in South America, we always remember that Borges, one of the greatest writers in history, never wrote a novel. He also wrote short stories. But that was Borges. Okay. And he was Argentinian, being that my friend Javier is Uruguayan and we have some kind of, I remind you that Borges was Argentinian. And the second question, why to write, is the most difficult, and to be honest, I don't know. I think we could ask to any of these great writers surrounding us today to get an answer for that question. I could imagine that maybe that point responds to different aspects, perhaps some kind of emotional approach to life, trying to emphasize what we feel, how we feel. But I think it's also a rational approach to life, trying to understand why we think, and how we connect feelings with actions and ideas. It is, of course, a question about stories. Writers love stories, the idea of play with stories, with characters. And finally, of course, it's a love with words, the idea of playing with words. This book has not had many readers yet, so far. I think it's a potential bestseller. Probably more potential than bestseller. But anyway, some friends, some colleagues, some writers read it. So I started to receive the first comments. Valentina, perhaps? Yeah? Okay. I started to receive the first comments on this book. And for me it's very, very interesting to see how different readers take different aspects of the same book. A friend told me, hey, you have written a political book. And I say, yes, to some extent it's a political book. You have written a thriller. And I admit that I try to put some touch of thriller in the book. Literary critic like Javier told me, you are writing a book, you wrote a book about the sense of life, more about existence, existentialism, something like that. And I said, perhaps. Another friend told me this is a book about boredom and exile and lies and the academic world. It's true. And finally a friend told me, hey, come on, my friend, you have written a love story. And I said, of course, you're right. In the end, I think it's also a love story. The truth is that I try to play with all those elements, trying to overlap these characters, these times these aspects. You will say when you read the book if I got it or not, I don't know. But my intention was to play with different elements. Should I have to pick 4 words to define this book? Or this, I don't know, these pages? I would say boredom, I would say emptiness, I would say sense, and I would say lies. And I think that I founded my book in those 4 pillars. And then I started to build the story, trying to connect those pillars. The story happens in, I would say, sometime after September 11, perhaps 4 or 5 years ago, when this country and the world was in a more stable moment in terms of economy, but suffering a huge lack of hope. Now maybe we are coming through a different momentum, right? The economy is a disaster, but we have in this country at least a figure that injects some hope to everything. And the book also happened in 6 cities, in New York, in Boston, in Buenos Aires, in Fez and Tanger, in Morocco, and in Gibraltar, a very strange place in the world. And I think that I tried to put and take off characters to and from those places, perhaps to show that wherever you are, here, there, you always bring with you what you are. And having said that, Mr.
Ahora pasamos al vino, pues ya.
Sí. Thank you very much.
No, vamos a hacer una pausita. Miren, hay asientos adelante a los que llegaron más tarde, si quieren sentar, hacen una pausita.
Te dejé sin palabras, ¿no?
Claro, ¿qué voy a hablar?
Sí.
Vino derecho y
Now we switch to Spanish because okay, the book is written in Spanish.
Bueno, bienvenidos a todos, gracias por venir. Un momento especial porque es un amigo, Pablo, un estudiante. Y bueno, este es un libro interesante. Yo tengo la versión bastarda del libro, que fue la primera versión que salió. Voy a explicar por qué bastarda, porque creo que la bastardización tiene mucho que ver con este libro. Y este libro se debió haber llamado Un Sendero Luminoso, ¿no? Se debió haber llamado
Fue el primer título con el cual jugaba.
Exacto. Los chicos acá en la librería, los chicos en inglés, es complicado para traducir, pero ellos piensan que es un sendero luminoso. Shining Path, pues ellos traducen así. Yo le dije que no, que es de Enlightened Path. Entonces lo pasamos de la sección de latinoamericana al budismo.
Autoayuda.
Es un libro de autoayuda. Que no me pasó inadvertido ese comentario que se hace acerca de los libreros, que yo soy el único librero que conocí acá.
Bien.
No está bien.
No está
bien. Bueno, el tema es que este libro tiene un desenlace inesperado y la verdad para mí fue inesperado. Y yo leo y yo compro muchísimos libros y es raro que me sorprenda el desenlace. Es un jueguito, yo esperaba un jueguito, pero la verdad no esperaba ese jueguito. Es una trampita al final, no voy a contar el final, pero hay una trampita al final. Este libro es muy raro. Hoy estaba hablando con Pablo al principio y yo decía que, no sé si conocen a La Nata, el argentino, sacó un librito, una novela que se llama Muertos de Amor, que salió hace muy poquito. Y yo voy a hacer una referencia uruguaya también, que es un editor uruguayo-turco, que se llama Mir Hamed, que sacó una novelita que se llama Artigas Blues Band, se llama. Increíblemente, y el libro de Pablo, para ponerlo en un marco. Estos 3 libros tratan sobre movimientos subversivos. Vamos a ponerle guerrilleros, no terroristas, ¿no? Vamos a llamarlos movimientos subversivos. Y para mí lo que me llama muchísimo la atención, que, por ejemplo, el libro de La Nata habla sobre la experiencia del Che en Bolivia, ¿no? Pero estamos en el 2008, salió